Alright, so good morning everyone. So today we will discuss under prelim for this semester, lesson 1, defining the self. It is a personal and developmental perspectives on self and identity. Okay, so before we even had to be in any formal institutions of learning, amongst the many things that we were first taught as a kids is to articulate and write our names. Of course, our parents, our mother teach us or taught us how to read and how to write our names. So yun po yung una nating identification of who we are. Okay, of the personal of identity of within ourselves. So name. Alright. So name of a being of a person or being. So it means a person's full name usually identifies that person for legal and administrative purpose. So a name of a person is an identity and is a powerful thing. So our parents painstakingly and thinking over and over again and thought about our names. So pinaghihirapan po ng parents natin kung ano ang ipapangalan po sa atin in order to identify us, in order to give us a name as a person or as a being. So our parents also, they even got our name after the saint or celebrity or politician or even our ancestors. So minsan ang mga pangalan natin is mga pinagko-combine from sa mga ninuno pa natin or yung tipong napagtripan ng nanay tatay natin na ay pangalan natin siya sa pangalang Swift Taylor kasi or Swift. Kasi favorite or fan talaga ako ni Swift Taylor. So may mga ganong mga nanay. Or ipangalan natin siya according kay Mayor kasi malaki na itulong ni Mayor sa atin. So our parents is I got our names even after the saints. So kagaya sa akin, ang pangalan ko is Maria Bernadette. So Maria means Mary and Bernadette is from Saint Bernadette. So depende po sa nanay. Okay. But sometimes combination po from our ancestor or sa idols nila or whatsoever. Okay, so how name can be so important in one person or being? So as this on the screen, our names represent of who we are. Okay, of who we are. Our name is supposed to designate us in this world. Okay. So, and name is important because it signify us. So, it represent us. For example, ako, pagkatao ko, na Maria Bernadette Makasait. So, it signifies me. Okay? Name is very, very important because it signify one's person or being. So when our parents calls our names, we respond to them because our name represents of who we are. So of course, as a student, we are told by our teachers to always write our names on our papers, quizzes, assignments, activities. So we are supposed to write our name in order to identify because it signify us. Okay, na atin yung gawa na yun. Even in projects or any outputs, especially in schools, especially na IDs. Kasi yun yung mag-identify na ikaw yun. Ikaw ang gumawa nun. So paano ikaw ang gumawa kung wala ang pangalan? Paano masasabi ng teacher kanino ito? Okay, nagsasabi ang teacher kanino ito, walang pangalan. Paano mo mapapatunayan gawa mo? Walang pangalan. So of course, it is very, very important that you have to indicate your name in every work that you have. Kasi sometimes, pag hindi natin pinangalanan yung ating work or ating ginawa, pwedeng angkinin niya ng iba. Akin man yan. Ako man gumawa niyan. Anong proof mo na ikaw ang gumawa? 'Di ba? So, it is very, very important that you have to indicate your name in every work that you have. Kasi sometimes, pag hindi natin pinangalanan yung ating work or ating ginawa, pwedeng angkinin niya ng iba. Akin man yan. Anong proof mo na ikaw ang gumawa? 'Di ba? So, nakapangalan na to sa akin. So, it is very important to indicate your name in every work that you have. Okay, because name is so important, it signify us. Alright, so as you can see, even death cannot even stop this bond between the person and his or her name. When we die, of course, our names are inscribed or nakaukit po, even into one's gravestone. So as you can see on the screen on your right side, so rest in peace, name Juan Pedro. So naka-indicate na nandun si Juan Pedro. So names cannot be separated from us even in death. Okay? Kasi naka-identify ka pa rin na si Juan Pedro. Example lang po ito si Juan Pedro, ha? Gawa-gawa ko lang po itong pangalan na ito. Si Juan Pedro ay namatay na. So, hindi pa rin siya na-separate kasi si Juan Pedro yung nakalibing dyan. Alright? So, again, a name of one's being is a word or symbol used in logic to designate an entity. Naka-designate po yan siya according to one's person. So, kagaya dito sa picture shown on the screen, as you can see, siya si Bobby, siya si Abdul, siya si Shino, and siya si Chow. Of course, ako ang teacher ninyo, Maria Bernadette Macasaet. And of course, kayo, as pangalan ninyo, Pedro, Juan, Maria, or whatsoever. So, it is the designated identity. Alright, so a person who has name after a saint most probably will not become a saint. So, guys ha, isipin natin mabuti, hindi porke na pag pinangalanan tayo ng nanay natin under kay saint, ay magiging santo po kayo. Okay? The self is thought to be something else than the name. Okay. The self is something that a person perennially molds, shapes, and develop. So, hindi po yung name ang nakabase kung paano tayo humulman ng pagkatao natin. Kaya nga ang sabi, hindi porke na nakapangalan ka sa saint or sa santo, sa isang santo, ay santo ka na rin. Okay? Hindi po ang pangalan. Identity nyo lang po ang pangalan. Pero hindi po yun ang pagkatao ninyo na you have to after that. Kunyari ako, Saint Bernadette, kailangan ko maging santo din kasi Saint Bernadette galing yung pangalan ko. No! It is the self that molds and shape and develop. And also, the self is not a static thing that one is simply blown with like a mold on one's face. Hindi po pwede. Okay? So, of course, everyone is taught to discuss oneself. So, you have already activity 1. So, have you truly discovered yourself? Or kilala mo pa talaga ang sarili mo based on your activity? So, basihan po natin yung mga questions na yun. Alright? Okay, so nabasihan na natin ang sarili natin based on the questions under activity 1. So, we will proceed. So, the self is an individual person as the object of its own reflective consciousness. So, as I stated a while ago, that the self is something that a person perennially molds, shape, and develop. So, the self is not a static thing that one is simply blown with like a mold on one's face. Alright? So, another word for self. So, this is another word for self. Alright, number 1 is psyche, which means ego. Oneself, which means a person. I, which means an individual. And of course, individualization, which means myself. And own, which means proprium. Proprium, alright. So what do we mean by this? When we talk about psyche, it is the human soul, mind, and spirit. That is what we call the ego. Okay? Psyche means the human soul, mind, and spirit, and it is equals to ego. Alright? Next, oneself. It means human being regarded as an individual. Oneself, it means person. Okay? Person. Okay, next. I. Single thing po yung I ha, kasi I. So, ibig sabihin ako. Okay? Kung ikaw magsasalita I, ako. Okay? It means single thing. Ikaw lang. Ako lang. So, it means you are separate. It means, when we talk about separate, it means individual. So, I, as an individual, you are separate from another I. Kasi, single thing. Alright, next is the individualization. It means myself. Kasi, individual, myself. Kagaya nga, in previous, I is a single things. Malamang, individual, malamang ang sarili ko lang. Sarili ko. Okay? So, next, own. Own, it means selfhood. Okay? It means property or belonging inseparably. That means proprium. Okay? So, let's familiarize again the another word of self. It means psyche is equals to ego. Oneself is equals to a person. And then I is equals to individual, and individualization is equals to myself, and own is proprium. Alright. So I hope you learned something from me today. I would like to thank all of you for listening on our discussion on our first topic. I hope you learned something from me today. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you on the next discussion. Stay well and stay safe, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.